Good evening, everyone. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening here in Nevis, and it's the On the Mark program on your radio once again. Of course, I'm sure you realize by now that you're not hearing the voice of the regular host, the Honourable Mark Brantley. Well, I'm sitting in for the Honourable Mark Brantley this evening. I'm the Honourable Eric Evelyn, and I will be your host for this evening. And of course, you know we go from now until 10 o'clock. Commercial-free talk show. So let me say good evening to all of us, those who are joining us, those in St. Kitts and Nevis, throughout the Eastern Caribbean, and of course those in the diaspora. We certainly want to welcome you to another edition of the On the Mark program. This program is aired every Wednesday night here on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan Radio 860 on your AM dial, www.vaughanradio.com, and we come to you every Wednesday from 8 until 10 with a rebroadcast of the program on a Thursday at 1 p.m. And of course, we know a lot of folks tune into the program on a Wednesday night, and most people like the program so much that they've tuned in again on Thursday to get a second hit at the program. So we want to welcome all of you who are in tune, whether you are in the Federation, in the Caribbean, in the diaspora. We know we have a lot of folks in the diaspora who listen, and so we want to welcome all of you. Of course, we're going to have another wonderful show here this evening. Later on, I'm going to have some guests with me, and just want to greet once again everyone. It's a beautiful evening. It's a little windy. It's a little chilly. We've been getting some real chilly weather for the past few days and nights. Yes, very, very chilly. I don't know if the folks in North America and Europe are sending some of the chilly and cold weather down here to us. I don't know if that is the case, but we have been getting some real chilly weather. It's not that normal for us to have this chilly weather in March, but of course we know that with climate change, anything is possible now at any time of the year. I don't know if one of these days we may get a little touch of snow as well. But anyway, we're getting some nice chilly weather. We've been getting some rain as well. And it's not very normal that we get so much rain in March either. And so there have been a lot of changes lately, but whatever the changes are, we accept, and we feel comfortable as well. So it's a little chilly, and so we are happy for that. I know persons have complained for the past couple of years bitterly about how hot the nights have been. Well, for this year so far, no one can complain that the nights have been hot. We've been getting some nice, cool, chilly weather. And so once again, I say good evening to all of you. And of course, at the top of this show, we normally do a little bit of housekeeping matters, and of course, we normally send out some birthday greetings. And I just want to shout out some folks who probably would have celebrated already, but I just want to shout them as well. I want to first of all say good evening, and a special good evening to Mrs. Geraldine Berry there at Church Road. She would have celebrated her 101st birthday on the 2nd of March. And what a lady this is. No one could believe that she's still going to church, walking to church, still doing her gardening, still looking after her chickens, still doing her own cooking, still doing everything for herself. And she's just looking so sparkling for 102. I also want to say good evening and belated birthday greetings to Blondina Thompson. She's of Rollins, but she's there at the Senior Citizens Home in Gingerland. She would have made 95 last week on the 12th of March. And this week, Monday, we had Frances Jeffers, who made 102 years. She's there at the Flamboyant Nursing Home. And down in my hometown of Hanley's Road, we have Mildred Tyson, who made 80 on Monday as well. And then on Friday, we have Mr. Edward Herbert up there at Zetlands, who will be making 90. So I dare say that the folks in Gingerland are doing very well, age-wise, doing exceptionally well. And so let me congratulate all of those folks who would have reached milestone birthdays, and may God continue to bless you and to continue to shower you with good health and strength. And of course, you also want to shout out all those who are not feeling so well, those of you who are a little bit under the weather, those of you who might be in the hospital and not feeling so well. We want to greet you. We want to greet those who are taking such good care of you at the hospital. Of course, you also want to greet those who are in the Flamboyant Nursing Home, as well as the St. George and St. John Senior Citizens Home there in Gingerland, and the good folks who are taking wonderful care of you as well. And of course, we also, at the top of the show, we normally extend the condolences to those in the bereaved column. And since the start of 2026, I don't know what's happening on the island of Nevis, but you know, it's like a death angel is passing over. We've had so many persons in the bereaved column. And of course, we know that we're in a small society here on the island of Nevis. We are like one big happy family. And so when we have persons who are bereaved, we like to share condolences with them. We like to reach out to them. Of course, it's very difficult to lose someone, especially a loved one. And so we always like to sympathize and empathize with those who are in the bereaved column. And so we want to continue to remember those of you who are in the bereaved column. You continue to be in our prayers, and from here on the mark, we want to reach out to all of you who are in the bereaved column. We want to say a special good night to continued condolences to the Hunkins family. We know we lost Lorna, hardworking member of the community, should have been laid to rest last Friday, so we say condolences to her daughter Sandra, her mother Thelma, and of course the entire Hunkins clan. And of course we would have also laid to rest this past weekend young little Dacia Mills, and so we say continued condolences to her mom, dad, grandparents, and everyone else who are left to mourn. And then on Monday, we would have laid to rest James Gould Lewis from Dan Rollins. And so we say condolences to that family as well. And we also want to reach out to the Morton family here in Bath Village on the loss of Cindy Morton. I believe she'll be laid to rest tomorrow. And of course, one of our cultural icons, Mr. Clefrin Shine Daniel. We lost him some time back, and he'll be laid to rest tomorrow as well at the Combermere Methodist Church. And so we say good evening and condolences to especially his wife and the rest of the family, and to the family of the late Lorna Doris, who was my very good friend. Lorna will be laid to rest, I understand, on Monday coming. And of course, we also want to send condolences to the family of the late Violet Vi Manners from there in Ramsbury, and of course especially to the husband Bam, who used to work with us at the Department of Agriculture. Bam, good evening to you and the children and the entire family. I know it's a huge family, and so we send our heartfelt and sincerest condolences to you. And of course, we know we would have lost a dedicated taxi driver, Mr. Vincent Humpy Clark, and we say condolences to his wife and the children and the entire family. I understand that funeral is next week, Friday. And down in my hometown of Hanley's Road, we would have lost a young man, Mr. Leander. We all know him as Andy Hendrickson, and quite untimely passing of Andy. And we want to reach out to his dear mom, Una. Una, good night to you, and of course to his siblings and all the entire family. And I hope that you all are holding up well, especially to you, Una. I know you're a strong woman, but I know it's not easy to lose your youngest child. That's a hard one. It's a very, very difficult one. We also want to say condolences to the family of my good friend as well, the late Kathleen Libert, and to the children and the grandchildren and all who are left to mourn. We also want to say condolences to the family of the late Franklin Brown, who was a teacher and would have given much to the education system here on the island of Nevis, and to the children and the grandchildren, the entire family. Of course, we know we would have lost very tragically only yesterday Miss Leticia Gomes. And of course, we know that it really rocked the Federation yesterday when we heard the news yesterday afternoon that 18-year-old young Leticia Gomes would have left us suddenly. Of course, we know that we just had recently concluded the Leeward Islands debating competition. I understand she was part of the Nevis team, and so we would have lost her suddenly. And to her family, we say heartfelt condolences. And of course, we've also heard of the passing of Vernie Amory, who was the wife of our late Premier, the Honorable Vance Amory. And so we say condolences to the Amory family and all who are left to mourn at the passing of the late Vernie Amory. And so all of you who are in the bereaved column, for those who I probably didn't get a chance to mention, all who are in the bereaved column, we reach out to you from here, us here at On The Mark, and we say hold on to God's unchanging hand, and may He continue to uphold you in His care and comfort you in this very, very difficult time, of your loss. Moving right along, I just want to say congratulations before I get to my guests. I want to say congratulations to the Ministry and the Department of Education for doing a stellar job in hosting the 54th Leeward Islands Debating Competition, which was hosted here on the beautiful island of Nevis from this past weekend, from the 12th to the 15th of March. I must say that based on how things were done, and the way things unfolded, I think the Ministry and the Department of Education had things down pat. Things were very well organized, very well executed. We had a welcome cocktail for the debaters and their teams and their supporters on last week Thursday evening there at the Malcolm Gishad Recreational Park. What a wonderful evening they had. And of course the debates would have started on Thursday evening. And I must say that all of the teams, they did an excellent job, an extraordinary job in representing themselves, representing their respective countries. And let me say congratulations once again to all of the participating teams from Antigua, Anguilla, Montserrat, St. Martin, St. Kitts, and host Nevis. I fortunately would have attended all of the debates, and I have to say that it was 4 evenings very well spent at the Nevis Performing Arts Center, NEPAC. As I indicated, the debates were of a very, very high standard. All of the debaters did exceptionally well. All of the islands can be very proud of their debaters. We were very happy here on the island of Nevis to host the competition. I spoke to the delegations, members of the various delegations, and they were in high praise for the organizers and in high praise for the island of Nevis and the way we hosted the competition. And we were very happy to hear that. And as I said, I would have been to all of them, and I must say the standard was very high. The debaters did a great job, and let me just commend all who took part in those debates. Those of you who are not there, you missed something. The debates were very educational. And you know, one of the highlights of the debates every night, and those of us who attended, I don't think we could ever forget, there was this young man who was on the mic every night, because you know, after the competition is over, they have to wait for the judges to come back, and then you have a discussion. And there was this young man who was so brave. I think he opened the batting practically every night. I don't know his first name, but he's young Mr. Walwyn Drew, and he was just a star. This young man is so intelligent, and I really admired him. He had his book so well organized every night, and I was just amazed. And all of those persons who were at NEPAC were just amazed at how brave and intelligent and well spoken this young man is. And I have to congratulate him. Claudia, good job, Claudia. And as I said, the debates were of a very high standard. And let me just make special mention of the debaters who debated from Nevis. I know they were a team, but we had Thalia Phillip, Kajari Huggins, Shemaya Thompson, and Rajan Fifield. Those were the 4 debaters who took part in the debates. As I said, I know there were other members of the team, but these were the 4 who debated. And special congratulations to Kajari Huggins. He would have won the Best Speaker Award on Saturday evening during their first debate. And I also want to say special congratulations to the young man from Montserrat, Etienne Ulu, who was the overall best speaker. And of course, we know that on the final night, it was Antigua against host Nevis. Antigua came out on top, so heartiest congratulations to the Antiguans. They are back-to-back champions. They would have won last year. They came to Nevis, they defended, and they defended well. And so, of course, Nevis, we are the runners-up. And so congratulations to the Nevis team, all of the members of the team, to the staff sponsors, those who trained them, the staff at the Sixth Form College, and as I said, the entire team at the Ministry and Department of Education for doing really a stellar job in preparing the debaters and, of course, in hosting the competition this year. So big congratulations to Nevis for doing a wonderful job. I also want to say quickly congratulations to the graduates of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force who graduated in the passing out parade last Thursday at the ETW Park. Reason why I'm mentioning this, because this is the first time in the history of the Defense Force that the course was hosted, the entire course was hosted on the island of Nevis, and it's the first time that the passing out parade for those recruits was done on the island of Nevis. And I must say big kudos and congratulations to the Nevis Island administration. We played a huge role. We were very, very supportive in ensuring that the course for the Defense Force was well executed, well organized. Special kudos to Mr. Wakely Daniel, the PS for the Premier's Ministry. And of course, as I said, the Nevis Island administration did an excellent job. Of course, most of the funding would have come from the federal government, but the Nevis Island administration would have chipped in well. As I said, the first time ever that course was hosted on the island of Nevis. And by all reports, the course went well. And so kudos and congratulations to those who passed out there last week, Thursday. And one more thing before I get to my guests, I just want to inform the good folks in my constituency of St. George Gingerland that the annual white goods cleanup is slated for Saturday, the 28th of March. That's not this Saturday coming, the following Saturday, the final Saturday in the month of March. Of course, we know that this has been happening for the past 6 years or so. I'm happy to do that every year for the people of my constituency, St. George Gingerland, in an effort and an attempt to continue to keep our environment clean and continue to discourage indiscriminate dumping. And so those persons in Gingerland, you'll be hearing more. But of course, the bins will be deployed in the 5 usual areas in Claygot, in Rollins, in Hanley's Road, in Matchmans, and in Hickmans. And so bear in mind, those of you who have white goods, your old washing machine, fridge, freezer, stove, whatever white goods you have, old television, you'll be able to get rid of them, and at no cost to you. The cost will be on your area representative, yours truly. So it will be no cost to you, and so you can get rid of those white goods come the 28th of March. And so those are what I have to say at the top of the show in terms of housekeeping matters. And I did indicate that I'll be having some guests alongside me this evening. And I'm happy to indicate that next week, Thursday and Friday, we have a huge event taking place here on the island of Nevis. And when I say a huge event, I mean a huge event, one of the largest events on the island of Nevis. And of course, those of you who have been listening to the radio, those of you who have been watching the television, and those of you who follow activities on Nevis would know that around this time of the year, towards the end of March, a significant activity takes place here on Nevis. And I'm talking about the Agri Expo. And so, and we have a milestone activity as well. It's a milestone anniversary. And so we have 2 persons already here in the studio. We're expecting someone else. He's not here as yet. But we have quite some grounds to cover tonight, I believe. And so I want to especially welcome the 2 guests who are already here with me, because I believe that we have a lot to talk about tonight. And of course, if you have questions regarding the Agri Expo, you can feel free to call in. I don't know if they're going to be giving away anything tonight. I don't know. But we will wait and see. But I believe we have an exciting show lined up. And as I said, persons may want to ask questions to clarify things about the Agri Expo. I know last year when we were here, persons calling to ask about certain logistics about the Agri Expo. And so we will be taking your calls later on as well when we open the lines. But in the meantime, I want my guests to introduce themselves.
Good evening, listening public. I am Siobhan Walwyn, Communications Officer at the Ministry of Agriculture.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Randy Elliott, Director of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Before we start, though, just want to ask Siobhan one question. Are you as brave as your little cousin?
No. he beat me by a mile. A few miles, maybe. Young man is brilliant.
Very,
honestly.
very, very brilliant. And that's the young man I was talking about at the debates. That's Siobhan's little cousin.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. I didn't remember his name. Jonathan. Yes. All right. So, gentlemen, we are here because we're here to talk about the Agri Expo. It's a big event that's coming up next Thursday and Friday. It's something that the people on the island of Nevis, people on the island of St. Kitts, people on the neighboring islands look forward to. And I know we have a lot of information to share this evening. We are here this evening because we want to big it up, and we want people to start thinking about it and get themselves organized to come to the Agri Expo next week, Thursday and Friday. First and foremost, gentlemen, when this is a big year. Tell us what anniversary are we celebrating this year?
All right, this year, Agri Expo, formerly known as the Agriculture Open Day, it's 30 years, 30. It's an amazing milestone, one we're very proud of. And we're looking forward to a grand event next week, Thursday and Friday. 30 years.
30 years is a very, very long time. And, you know, I particularly am very proud of it. I was there from the start, you know, so it's bring back a lot of good memories. But, Mr. Elliott, were you there from the start as well?
No,
Okay, you were not there from the start, but you were there when it was held up at Prospect, though?
Yes, I was.
Okay, maybe you can just remind folks or listeners as to what was the event like when it was up at Prospect, because when it started up at Prospect. Very, very small event, but very impactful. So remind us of what you remember about the open day at that time up at Prospect.
Well, at Prospect, and I guess that's why it was called Open Day, because you actually opened the Department of Agriculture to the general public. The event, there were two areas where the event was held. The crops, and most of the events were held over at the Prospect Experimental Station. During that time, it was very small. I remember you had some agro-processors, farmers, onions and so forth from the department. You have the open fields where persons could actually walk through the fields and actually sow the crops within their natural habitats. You also have over by the veterinary clinic where persons actually came through the main gate in Prospect, or they jump off a bus at Prospect Gap, they go by the vet where they're able to see animals. There were cages outside of the old veterinary structure. Persons actually could have gone into the building and actually saw some of the tools, equipments that are used in terms of surgeries and these sort of things. Persons walk into Prospect, and again, it was very educational. It was very small, and it was very impactful from my point of view. Over the years, we would have realized that quite a number of new farmers who wished to take part in the event wanted to showcase what they were doing also. Quite a bit of agro-processors wanted to showcase what they're doing. And that time during Prospect, I think we were using plywood and tarpaulins. There were no tents to basically speak about. And as a result, we had to grow to accommodate our partners. Then the then director, the late Mr. Samuel Powell, would have looked at a new venue, which was the Villa Grounds in Charlestown.
Well, I'm happy that you're able to make, create this link and let people know just how far we have come from, because I vividly remember everything that took place up at Prospect as well. Of course, we remember when they came over to the agricultural station, they were able to go out in the field and look at the crops that are being grown in the field. Persons were able to get good explanations in terms of production, how to produce a crop and that sort of stuff. And so we would have transitioned from that little small setting up at Prospect, the two areas at the vet clinic and and at Prospect, and now that we have transferred now to the ETW Park. And of course we have to give big kudos and commendation to Mr. Augustine Merchant. He's the one whose idea it was to have an event like this. Of course it was just meant as an educational event.
Yes.
To get people more sensitized to agriculture and what agriculture meant to us on the island of Nevis, to get people more involved, and it grew over the years. So it is important that we create this perspective and people are aware of the journey.
Yes.
From Prospect, and you just spoke about moving from Prospect to the villa. So maybe you can just continue now and tell us what happened when you moved from Prospect down to the villa, and now we are now at the ETW Park.
So when we moved to the villa, it was our 10th anniversary when we moved to the villa. And we actually thought, okay, this is going to be the home of the agricultural open there. But over the years, you realize that the villa was getting small and smaller, because one of the things now you started saying is service providers of agricultural related stuff like the TDC and Horsfords, they wanted to take part, and the villa grounds was just not lending itself to have these other entities taking part. So for the 25th anniversary, we decided that we're going to open up some more, invite some more farmers, some more ornamentalists, and so forth. And we actually decided that for the 25th, we were going to go into the ETW Park. Back then, I remember the major question that was asked, well, the statement, the park is big enough. Can you all fill the park? And that was something that always stuck to my back of my head, is whether or not we could really attract so many agriculture lovers and producers to actually fill the park. So this year, as we celebrate 30, I think we would have made significant grounds. I think we would have transformed the agricultural open day, the expo, to something even where the founder, Mr. Merchant, probably didn't think that the magnitude in which we are today. But I'm very grateful to be a part of the process. Although I was not fortunate like you to fulfill the full 30.
Yeah, but I've been there for the full
right.
30. I'm very happy for that.
But the experience over the years has been very, for me, have been very good.
It has certainly been very rewarding, and I know this being the 30th anniversary, quite a lot of planning would have been going into it, and I know you all would have started the planning last year. I know that Mr. Walwini here has been involved in some interviews. I know that there was you guys wanted to do 30. I don't know if you were able to capture 30 interviews, but tell us about that. Tell us about that initiative of wanting to do 30 interviews leading up to Agri Expo 30.
All right, so leading up to Agri Expo 30, we decided to use our platform On the Farm. That's a TV program that we have. Well, it's a bit more than TV because we're on YouTube as well. We decided to use that platform to have some interviews with some of the major role players in the development of the open day, what brought it to Expo, get some behind the scenes knowledge and experiences of people that have been there. There's also new people as well, so you get different perspectives. And I must say, the interviews, they've opened my mind to a lot when it comes to the Expo. I've learned a lot of new things and confirm a lot of old thoughts that I had as well. We are somewhere in the 20s. I think we're at 26. There's one episode to come out tomorrow featuring Honorable Alexis Jeffers and Rohan Claxton. So, you know, Mr. Jeffers is former Minister of Agriculture. Rohan would have made a significant impact in livestock. So these are the kind of people we've had. The episodes are free to view on YouTube, Nevis Agriculture, On the Farm, and you'll see them. We've had a number of important agricultural role players. We've had you, Mr. Evelyn, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, in your many hats in agriculture. And something that stuck to me was the interview we did with Aika. And Aika basically said that they look forward to the expo because that's their platform to reach school children. So they look forward to our event. So you see the impact that it has for a regional body like Aika to look forward to Nevis's Agri Expo to get their mission out and get their message out. So you can see that there's a widespread impact of Agri Expo.
Fantastic. So, if you can you recall some of the other persons you may have interviewed, maybe farmers and that sort of stuff?
All right. So we have Mrs. Althea Paris, commonly known as, well known as Sally. We've had Passad. In terms of farmers, we've had Mackie Trust, A1 Farms. In terms of past agriculture workers, we've had Elvin Bailey. We've had, boy, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to remember.
Mr. Amri, Keatley Amri.
Yes, we had Mr. Amri. We had Mr. James Walcott.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniel Atherton.
And we had former patrons as well. We had Daniel Atherton and Valerie Ermin Hendrickson.
Okay.
So we had agro-processors. We had new people like Native Radiance, Shabrina Prince Clark.
Right.
The chef that comes every year for our food demos, Chef Michael Henville,
Right.
he's
Okay.
there as well. We covered all the bases, I would say.
That was a good coverage indeed. And I mean, when I was contacted to do the interview, of course I would have consented very right away, because I said the Agri Expo is very, 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 very dear to me, you know. And I mean, I am so proud of how far this event has come. As I said, when I look back and see where it would have started, how small it started, and of course it was just for a day.
Yes.
Just for a couple hours, you know, and now we have morphed into 2 days. And so, as I said, these are all preparations for the 30th anniversary. Mr. Elliott, generally though, how have preparations been going? As I said, I know you all have been meeting since last year. How have the preparations been going for the Agri Expo for this year?
Well, for us, preparations have been on the ball. For us, you would have had 1 or 2 small hiccups and so forth, but preparation have been on the ball. In terms of crop production and so forth, we already started to harvest some of the products like the squash, the pumpkins, the onions, and these sort of things. We already started the harvesting of these things. Sweet peppers and so forth, we'll be harvesting and packaging those next week. Carrots, sweet corn, honeydew, cantaloupe, and so forth. We'll be harvesting those closer to next week. As it relates to the demos from the different sectors, they're currently a work in progress. We actually started to take things to the villa, to the ETW park from this morning. So the park was handed over to us today. So we actually started to take down some of the stuff for livestock from the abattoir. Preparations have been ongoing. I think we're just a few pounds short of the target amount of mutton that we were looking at. So just a few pounds short. Again, thanks to the farmers who would have rose to the occasion despite the challenges in terms of dogs and the perennial larceny and so forth. But still, the farmers were able to raise to the challenge. As it relates to vendors, registration, and sponsors, we have confirmed all our major sponsors already. I think we did our last collections today from our major sponsors. As it relates to vendors, we would have closed registration a few days ago. Well, I think it was last week. I think it was last week or week before last. Week before last. And you still have persons who are calling, but unfortunately, the park is small now. Unfortunately, the park is small now.
So when that person asks if we can fill the park, that question has been answered a long time.
Yeah, the park is small now. So we actually scratching our head to see whether or not for next year if we put a cap on the amount or we start looking at a new location. Because
I think we should stick to the park.
Because to be honest with you, if you look at what we did last year, for our 29th, we did some 87 vendors.
87?
87 vendors last year. This year, the numbers has increased by 40-something%. We're up about 146 vendors this year.
How do you manage to fit all of those people inside, all those vendors in there?
That's what I said.
You say it jumped from 89 to how much?
87 last year.
87 to how much?
146.
146.
Yes.
So where did all these other extra people come from? Over 50 additional vendors come from.
We have quite a bit of new individuals who would have started businesses here as it relates to cosmetics and so forth. We have quite a bit of farm craft individuals who would have taken place. We have some additional information booth. We have quite a bit of vendors coming over from St. Kitts also. We also have vendors coming from St. Christ also coming to take part in the event. So what we are seeing is it's something that again we probably couldn't assume before, and not just vendors coming. Even some of the existing vendors, they're requesting larger space than what they would have previous. Some who normally would have a 10 by 10 space would service them. Some are asking now for 20 by 20. Like if you look at, for instance, these young guys from St. Kitts that sells the pet fish. I think they are, what is it, David House. They're looking for at least 20 by 30, moving from a 10 by 10 last year, right? So again, the expo is building quite a bit of traction. We also have someone who also has an interest outside of the normal vehicles that you will see from TDC and Horsfords. We also have someone who has an interest in terms of exhibiting electric vehicles also at the event. So the expo has opened up quite a bit of opportunities to the people of St. Kitts, Nevis and the region.
Wow, that is amazing. And weren't there supposed to be a meeting this afternoon with the vendors? Did that come off? How did that go?
Yes, we had a meeting with our vendors this afternoon in terms of reconfirming the rules and regulations as it relates to the park and how, in terms of operations, we'll be going at the park. We have indicated to them that from Tuesday they'll be able to bring in the heavy stuff from Tuesday next week, and the lighter stuff from Wednesday. We had quite a bit of vendors showed up. We issued them their passes, both for the individuals and vehicular passes. We also indicated to them that their booths themselves have to be labeled in terms of whoever you are. Your booth have to be labeled. You have to be set up by 7:30.
I was just about to say, I hope you stress the fact that they should be there early, because I know over the years we've had the challenge where persons tend to come in late when a lot of persons are already on the grounds. And of course, sometimes we have the challenge if the place is dry as well. Because I remember we spoke the other and I said, even though a lot of rain has been falling, for some reason the grass still seems dry. And so we have that challenge where persons come in late and they drive on the grass, they drive on the park, and there's a lot of dust. I hope that it would not be very dusty in the park next week. So it is important that persons come early. Yeah,
so we asked them to set up by 7:30. By 8:30, all vehicles should be off the park. We also stress on them in terms of during the period, the 35 minutes of the ceremony, if commerce can be at halt. Just in respect for the ceremony during that time. Again, most of the vendors agreed, again, because 30 is a significant milestone. So most of the vendors agreed that when the ceremony starts, commerce will just cease for that 35 minutes.
Yeah, of course, and I think people need to respect that. Yes, because normally once you have activity taking place, people selling, it kind of interrupts what is going on with regards to the ceremony. And I said this is a milestone, and people really should be paying attention to this ceremony. Over the years, of course, we know we have scaled back in terms of the length of the ceremony,
Yes.
and people really should make sure that they do, and of course respect that, especially our vendors.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Walwyn, maybe you can enlighten us in terms of what is the theme for this year.
All right, so the theme for Agri Expo 30 is rooted in history, utilizing land and sea. Agri Expo 30.
Why this theme?
So it's a nod to the past. Of course, you have to acknowledge where you came from. So that's where we have rooted in history. And then we have utilizing land and sea. So you balance crop production, land production with marine resources.
Fantastic.
And you're the minister of both, so
Yes, I actually love the theme this year, rooted in history. Of course, it's a very historic event as well,
Yes.
because we are celebrating 30 years, and we just spoke about our history, how it started, how we have grown, where we came from, where we are now, and of course, it lies, as I said, utilizing land and sea, because of course at the Agri Expo you're going to be seeing stuff from the sea. You're going to be eating stuff from the sea. You're going to be seeing stuff from the land. You're going to be eating stuff from the land. You're going to be buying stuff from the sea, buying stuff from the land. And it's Agri Expo 30. Now, let us talk a little about our patron.
All right, so if you would allow me to go back a little bit to come forward.
Sure, absolutely.
A part of our interview series, we interviewed the patron. And I must say, I really enjoyed his interview. The patron for Agri Expo is Mario Rutherford Libert. He asked
Wait. His name is Rutherford?
Yes.
Rutherford.
I never knew that.
He asked
I know
me-
him as, everybody knows him as Ford.
Ford.
Small food,
Right.
small food.
Okay.
Small food.
So that's where the Ford comes from,
Right.
Rutherford.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm learning something tonight.
And
I worked with
and
Ford
small
all these years, and I never knew his name was Rutherford.
A small food came because there was a Ford working.
A big Ford.
Yeah, so
Ford
he said,
Paris.
So he said to call him small food.
All of that is in the interview. He asked me to specifically say Mario Rutherford Libert.
Wow.
So he said people say it's because big Ford, small Ford, and because Ford vehicles, all kind of thing. But he said the Ford comes from Rutherford.
Wow. But I never knew that.
Yeah.
I really
But-
learned something tonight.
Yeah, in his interview, you could tell the passion that he has for the work. It just seeps out of him when he talk about the tractors, when he talk about the work, talking to the farmers, going out early mornings. You could just feel the passion and energy, and I feel like he's a fitting pick for this year's event.
You agree, Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Well, I would have worked with Ford as well over the years when I was there, and I must say that he was an extraordinary worker, very committed, very consistent, always on time, dedicated to the job, and someone who was very easy to talk to, very respectful, very respectable. And he had a wonderful relationship with the farmers as well.
Yeah.
I think persons who he worked for the farmers liked him. He was not someone who get upset very quickly and easily. A very, very patient young gentleman. And so I'm very happy that he was selected to be the patron this year. Very, very, very fitting for him to be the patron for Agri Expo 30. He would have recently retired from the Department of Agriculture, and it's an excellent way to honor him based on the work that he would have done at the Department of Agriculture. So Rutherford, if you're listening, Mario, Rutherford, if you're listening, Ford, Libert, congratulations, well deserved. And I'm looking forward so much to seeing you at the park next week, Thursday, as the star, as a patron for Agri Expo 30. So congratulations to you, Ford.
Yes.
All right, if you're just joining us, well, it's On the Mark here on the Eastern Caribbean's Powerhouse for today, the 18th of March, 2026. And I have two guests with me in the studio. We are still expecting another one. We have the Director of Agriculture, Mr. Randy Elliott. We also have the Communications Officer, Mr. Siobhan Walwyn. And we are discussing a huge event that is coming up next week, Thursday and Friday at the ETW Park, our Agri Expo, and it's the 30th edition. At the top of the of the hour at 9 o'clock, we're going to open the lines for if anyone who wants to ask a question where the Agri Expo is concerned, any clarification that you may need with regards to parking, getting into the ETW Park, what's going to be available, and that sort of thing. Well, we still have a lot to discuss, and so we're going to continue in terms of our discussion here. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about the Mr. Elliott spoke about, you said that you have like 146 registrations this year, which is really, really massive. Tell us about the different sections, the different booths that people can expect to see when they come to the Agri Expo.
Well, what you see, and I'm going to take it in somewhat of an order. So we have our ally agencies, ICA, CADI. We also have the Republic of China and Taiwan, along with the different projects that they're doing here in both Nevis and in St. Kitts. We have our food court this year, again, continued. We have an extension on the food court, an additional 2 vendors on the food court to facilitate the amount of persons that we are expecting at the venue. You have from the vegetarian, the meat eaters, the sea lovers, and so forth. We also have the agro processing, who will be there with the processed stuff, the agro processors. We also have the lemonades, so forth. I think that was a big hit last year.
It was.
So we actually have 2 of them this year. One doing the lemonade, one doing a Jessup lemonade with gummy bears and these sort of things. We also have the ornamentals. Again, we have quite a bit of ornamentals this year, including persons coming over from St. Kitts coming in. We also have ECGC with us. We have plant propagation. We have the veterinary clinic, the livestock section. We have the information line that would include, like, for instance, the banks, government offices, etc. Disaster. One of the booths will be facilitated by our colleagues from St. Christ. We also have the cosmetics who will be there. We also have the craft. We have so another set now who are now doing, I think last year they did the first entrance last year, so they're willing to come back this year in terms of doing lipstick and these sort of things, all locally made from local products. We have craft house. We have some other individuals who are doing craft. We have the light manufacturers here at Nevis in terms of the roofing, the fencing, and so forth. So we'll have those. We have our farmers. Quite a bit of farmers will be there this year. I'm sad to say one of our major farmers will not be here this year, Emmentine Thompson. She will not be here this year.
But I assume she'll be represented?
No, she won't. No, she won't. She won't
okay.
be. She won't be.
I know she spends a lot of time overseas.
Yes.
So it's a pity she won't be here for our 30th anniversary, because she's someone, Emmentine likes the show.
Yes.
Yes. So I am going to miss her.
Yes.
For sure. And I'm sure a lot of her patrons are going to miss her as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have quite a bit of farmers and so forth, like the A1 farms, the Dalton, the Ravi, the Helen's daughters, and so forth. The Sally, the Elmina, and so forth. So these are just some of the farmers who are going to be there. We also have the fish area where these pet fish. Again, as I said, the guys from St. Kitts, they're coming over. Well, they told me they want to come hard this year. Right? So, and they started to move stuff from since last weekend. They started to move some aquarium from Saturday, gone. So that should show you the magnitude that they're coming with this year. We also have the abattoir with quite a bit of products this year. Some new products. Mr. Griffin, I'm not at liberty to say what, but Mr. Griffin would have indicated that there's a new product that's going to be showcasing this year. Again, I think every year he comes with something new. So there's a new product we'll be showcasing this year. We also have different companies like the TDC and so forth. We have our children area with the go-karts, the horse riding, and these sort of things. So that's just a synopsis of what the park look like. Again, it's the park is packed. It's filled, and that's one of the reasons why we stress with our vendors in terms of the mere fact that now the park is filled is less room for vehicles.
Precisely.
Right. So we continue to stress that to our vendors in terms of vehicles on the property. For persons who are coming in, there are golf carts that will be moving you to the gates.
I know we had that last year as well, right?
Yes. So the golf carts will moving you to the gate, and only to the gates. They will not be permitted to go beyond the gates.
Right.
Right. So we have our major gates. You have the top on the hill by the cultural village. You have the gate at the school grounds on the school road, and then you have the main gate right next to Best Buy. Again, please let it be known that Best Buy parking lot is not parking for Expo. Okay, our parkings will be the Villa grounds and also the lot up next to the cultural complex. Best Buy parking lot will not be a parking designated for Expo.
I hope persons are listening and are hearing, because I mean, normally when anything is happening in the park, I know Best Buy customers generally suffer.
Yes.
And so we would not want Best Buy customers to suffer at the hands of the Agri Expo. We are trying to work with everybody, and so we want to remind you that if you're coming to the Agri Expo and you're going to be spending, whether you're spending an extended period of time or not, you're not supposed to be parking in the Best Buy parking lot. Of course, it's Thursday and Friday, and in particular on Friday, persons have their shopping to do, and so we are kindly asking for your cooperation. So if you're attending the Agri Expo, please do not block up the Best Buy parking lot. They actually have a right to tow your vehicle if you're not a customer, right? So please, we have lots of parking over in the villa. We have some parking up on the hill. I assume that persons can park on the hill as well inside. I'm not sure.
Parking on the hill would be for the vendors.
Okay.
For the vendors.
So inside the park itself on the hill is not for the persons who are attending, the patrons.
No,
it's for vendors. And then, of course, persons can park up above the cultural complex.
Yes.
Right? And you said there will be go-karts available.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, I know it's going to be a bumper crowd on both days, and persons must bear that in mind, especially with regards to the parking. Now, I know one of the big hits over the years for Agri Expo has been demonstrations. What are we doing in terms of demonstrations this year? Are we going to be having our usual demonstrations? What is planned in terms of the demonstrations this year?
All right. In terms of demonstrations, we customarily have our food and technical demonstrations. Confirmed, we have Marketing Arm International, who's one of our sponsors from Trinidad. They're coming to do technical demos, which they will be showcasing best practices for some of the products they offer. So they will be coming to show you best practices for the products that they have on sale. Also confirm, we have the vet. They'll be having a dog show. They have different breeds of dogs, the show dogs, the little nice cute dogs. They'll be having a dog show on Thursday.
Wow.
In terms of food demos, we'll have different hotels and chefs that will come to do the food demos, which is always a treat, and it's free. You come, you learn something, and you get a little treat. And Mr. Elliot could tell you more about this. I'll allow him to tell you about the big food thing that's happening.
Okay, so we also add as an addition to it a masterclass, where this will be happening on Thursday afternoon, where persons from the crowd, Thursday afternoon about 4, so persons from the crowd have the ability to come to the expo and actually cook. So we actually have it in a master class with that, where you could come if you're feeling hungry, you come up, you cook. There'll be a chef there to show you exactly how to prepare and so forth. Again, the space is limited, right? Space is very limited, so it's a first come, first serve.
Any
basis.
particular items that the persons will be able to cook?
That's not it's not fully finalized as
Okay.
yet, but again, persons will be able to come and cook. So that's one. The other one that we having, again, we'll be working closely with the beekeepers, like as it relates to wax and candle making and so forth. So that again would also be a master class that will be showcasing. So that's something new that's going to be added to the expo. Also, there's an addition again that will be taking place on Friday. I think it's a little VIP area on the Friday. If Mika, if you're listening, you could probably call in a little later and explain exactly what it is. But what we are trying to do, what we realize that there are quite a bit of, and over the years, when we look at our registration, we see quite a bit of designers on the island of Nevis. And we are trying to give them a platform to showcase what is it their designs. May it be clothing, hats, crochets, etc., etc. So there'll be a modeling during the expo where it's an entrance that you pay to go in. Once you purchase your ticket, it automatically gives you a pass into the expo. Again, you'll be seated, you'll be treated with light refreshments, and you'll be able to see the different models, the different designs that are done on the island of Nevis. I've been told that there's an external designer who's going to be coming in to showcase some of what they're doing also. So again, all this in the effort of exposing our people in terms of some of the skill sets that we have here on the island of Nevis.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit more about that, I guess. Just before we open the lines, though, tell us briefly about the opening ceremony.
The opening ceremony, we start at 9 promptly with the prayer, the national anthems.
9 or 9:30?
9.
Okay.
Because vendors want to start selling. Right? So we start at 9.
Okay.
We have the ceremony. There's a little act between the ceremony, and hopefully within 35 minutes that should be completed. What we're asking for the general public who is listening, and for the vendors who are listening, is that during the time of the ceremony, we're asking you to just slow commerce during that time. As we celebrate 30, just to show some respect to what's happening. One of the things I told the vendors today, that being on the stage, because one made the statement and said, no, you're all on the stage. I said, yeah, but when we're on the stage, we're still hearing all the noise. And,
precisely.
Right? And it's very distracting sometimes.
It is.
So we're asking persons that during that time, during the time of the ceremony, is to reduce commerce and show some respect to the ceremony at that point in time.
Well, I totally agree with you, because I remember last year when we were having the opening ceremony, there were a lot of shuffling. Persons were coming in with vehicles, people were still setting up their booths, and that is why I was saying that you need to definitely give people a cut-off time as to when they should set up their booths. Because if you give people free range, people are going to be coming in all 10 o'clock to set up their booths. And 10 o'clock is when a lot of persons would already be within the ETW park, whether to buy or just to have a glimpse in terms of what is happening. So it is important that persons set up early, and of course once the ceremony is on, people should try to respect that, come and listen to see what's happening. It's now at the top of the hour. It's just about 30 seconds to 9 o'clock. I did indicate that we'll be opening up the lines. Our numbers are 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700, and we are discussing this evening our huge event that's coming up next week, Thursday and Friday, the 26th and the 27th of March. It's the Agri Expo, and it's the 30th anniversary, being held under the theme Rooted in History, Utilizing Land and Sea Agri Expo 30. And our patron is Mr. Mario Rutherford, Libert. We do have our first call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Hello, good night.
Good night. How are you
I'm
doing?
here listening. I'm good. I'm here listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
The amount of things that you're all having in that park. You believe people going to get to walk?
Of course. Of course. People will make space. The park is big
I
enough.
close my eyes and I visualize the park and me now. Boy, it's a hard work.
The Department of
And I wanna say
Agriculture,
congratulations.
the Department and the Ministry of Agriculture staff, once we put our heads together and we decide we're going to do something, nothing is going to stop us.
Okay. I give the benefit of the doubt to Mr. Evelyn Carbon for you.
Of course, that's not a problem.
Next thing is that I want to congratulate agriculture for the 30 years.
Thank you.
And yes, they work. They work. And one thing I want to cut in on, right, is that the thing of Mr. Perry, the marketing
Mm-hmm.
is a very good idea. And you never go to marketing and you don't get things. I must congratulate agriculture for that. Because I don't go anywhere now but agriculture because it's cheaper. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Our lines are still open. As I said, we are discussing our Agri Expo that's taking place next week, Thursday and Friday at the ETW Park. And we still have quite some things to discuss. We have with us this evening, we have Mr. Randy Elliott, Mr. Siobhan Walwyn. As I said, hopefully another member of the team will join us a little later on. But just in case you want to congratulate the department on its 30th anniversary, if you want to ask any questions, any clarification you need, if you're a vendor and you didn't go to the meeting and you want to get any clarification, you can feel free to call in. We have another call online. Good evening, caller. You're live on the mark.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. And how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks. This is Mika.
Yes.
I'm calling in to shed some light on our special events within the agriculture event.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm quite excited for this. More so excited for the designers. Them having a platform to actually showcase the great talent that they have.
Yes.
And I think that is quite important for them. Nevis has a lot of talent, definitely. We also have the young ladies, the models, who have been eager throughout the couple of days. We met with them, and they are working towards this event in making it one of the great events that will be part of what is happening. I'm a bit excited, so I'm just trying to get everything out, or most of it. The tickets are special tickets that are $25, which allows you automatically in the agriculture fair. Also secured seating for the fashion show, and of course, as Mr. Elliott mentioned, special VIP treatment. I don't think persons will want to miss out on that. There's also an overseas designer. She will be showcasing some stuff as well. I've seen some of the designs from both the local and the overseas designers, and I am quite impressed. And this is why I'm so excited, because Nevis is going to be showcased in a different way, on a different level. So I am looking forward to see all of the seats filled and persons come out and support and have a great time at this event, not just the agriculture event.
I was just going to ask you about that because I saw a poster and that particular section has a specific name, agriculture, which sounds very fancy, right?
Oh, yes, we needed it to be fancy because it will be a fashion show of class, so that was one of the things that we looked at because we needed the name to be catchy and to draw persons in. We will be highlighting the fashion, the culture, and the sustainability surrounding the theme rooted in history, utilizing land and sea. So you will definitely be seeing different pieces coming out of that.
I'm a little enlighten me though, because Mr. Elliott said once you enter the grounds, you get an automatic ticket to get in. But I saw the poster, and the poster says $25.
No,
right?
once
So
you buy that
will
ticket-
will there be a designated area
Yes.
in the park for this fashion show,
Yes.
and not
Yes.
in the open? Tell us what's going to happen.
Yes, it will be a designated area based on the setup of the area. It will sort of be enclosed,
Okay.
but because of with the tickets and how we're setting up the whole fashion show area, it works. So the seating and everything, that is safe. I know it seems you're trying to figure out how persons will be able to, if persons on the outside will be able to see. And,
Right, because
all of that.
if someone is paying $25 and someone paid a small fee to enter at the gate, and then that person who's paid a small fee to enter at the gate
But they
would not be
wouldn't be-
allowed to
they-
see
they
the
won't
fashion show
really be
unless they
able to-
unless they pay the additional $25. That's what I'm assuming.
Right. Well, it's not
No.
an additional $25.
You'll be able
Once
to-
you purchase that
clarify.
ticket,
Clarify.
okay, so once you purchase that $25 ticket, it automatically allows you in.
Okay.
It automatically allows you to secure a seat, but it also gives you the VIP treatment and everything it comes with.
Okay.
In regards to persons on the outside who would have paid a cheaper cost to enter, they won't have the proper visibility as the persons who are actually seated in the fashion show
Designated area.
Right.
Okay. So once you buy the ticket, you show that ticket at the gate and you enter the gate.
Yes.
Great. And so you won't have to pay the additional entry
No.
fee.
No.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, that sounds good, because of course I know a couple of years ago when we celebrated our 10th anniversary, we had a pageant, and then we would have had a fashion show sometime after as well.
Fever.
You know.
Fever.
Yes, your memory is very good, Mr. Elliott. And so we would have had a fashion show as well. And I think at one point in time we had a hat parade as well.
Yes.
You know, so over the years we actually would have had similar events. And so I'm happy that we are actually having this now for our 30th anniversary. Something a little different, something a little classy. You know, and where people can come in and have a seat and see these designers, because as you rightly said, we do have some good designers here on the island of Nevis.
Definitely.
And we must remember that a lot of our clothing is made from cotton, and cotton is a product of agriculture,
It is.
right?
It is.
And you said it is scheduled to run from 5 until 7?
Yes.
Now, during that 2-hour period, 5 to 7, when that fashion show is taking place in that designated area, I know that sometimes the DJ's music seems to be a bit loud. I'm hoping that it would not be overpowering the music for the fashion show that will be taking place.
No, well, it will be, we will have that time, so the DJ won't be interrupted. Well, there shouldn't be music because the music would be controlled for the fashion show.
Okay.
So persons on the outside would be hearing the music, but the music would actually be coming from the fashion show.
Okay, fantastic. Okay.
There's no interruption. So I hope persons start purchasing their tickets.
And how can
It's
persons
really
get
going
their,
to
how
be
can
an
persons purchase
interesting-
their tickets though? Where will the tickets be available?
Barbs and Visa, I know they're selling tickets.
That's where?
At the Ministry of Agriculture.
Okay.
And myself at NCDF. I have tickets as well. So anywhere persons can reach out to get tickets. They can even purchase the tickets at the gate. There will be someone designated at the gate for those tickets in particular. So if they at the gate and they don't want to purchase the regular gate fee, but they want to purchase the ticket, then the ticket is there and available for them to pay to come in and also to be a part of the fashion show.
Fantastic.
To secure the seat, yes.
Great. And remind us of the name of that little niche event.
Agri Couture.
Agri Couture.
Yes.
I love the name, Agri Couture. And you said you already have your models lined up for that
Definitely.
fashion show.
Definitely.
You care to tell us how many designers will be featured during that event?
It's a good bit.
Okay.
Babs and her team, we are working hard. I am working with the models, and someone else is designated to work with the designers. So I don't really have the number of designers.
Okay.
But I know we do have a good amount to put off to present what we want to present for this event.
Fantastic. Any more information you want to impart, Mika?
That's about it. I still don't want to give out too much because I want persons to come.
Okay. So
Yes.
before you leave, though, I want you to make a pitch and encourage persons to come out and support Agri Couture.
Oh, sure. Okay, so to the general public, please come out and support. It is something that will be Nevis will be showcased differently on a different level, and not just with the designers, but the models and special persons who we are seeking to be a part of this event. I believe that will be a treat for you, and you will definitely enjoy that. So I'm encouraging everyone to purchase their tickets as early as possible and come on out and enjoy.
Fantastic. And thank you so very much for your assistance where this is concerned. And I am happy, and I'm sure it will go very well.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for calling in. Looking forward to seeing you next week. All right, thank you. That was Miss Mika O'Brien, and she was calling in just to speak about a special feature that we're having. We have another caller online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark. Oh, that caller left. Sorry, caller, could you call back, please? We still have a lot of time, so if you want to call regarding anything on Agri Expo, please feel free to do so. Our numbers are 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. We have that caller back. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Thank you for taking the call. Good evening, Mr. Evelyn.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Do you know who's speaking?
Not yet.
Guess you don't have an idea. This is your good friend, Jean Claxton. How are you?
Oh, wow. It's so good. I haven't heard you in a while.
I know. I also should say good evening to your two panelists for their introduction to the event that will be taking place on Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
At the park. But I'm calling on a more somber note, though. I did not get it in the bereavement column or when you were like doing some house cleaning at the earliest start of the show. So I'm doing it now.
Yes.
I would like to, on behalf of the Duport family from Craddock Road,
yes,
offer my sincere condolence on the passing of their brother, uncle, dad, Eric, or Derek, I think is his name, Derek Duport, but more fondly known as Chicken at home.
Okay.
Yes, he passed away about a week or so in the island of St. Croix, and I just want to extend my very deep sympathy to his family. We have a very close relationship from since we were children, so
yes,
I think it's just the decent thing to do.
Thank you so much. And I'm happy you called because Glenda is my very good friend, and I saw her at Lorna's funeral, and I did hear that
she's on the island right now.
I did hear that her brother had passed away. That one slipped me. So thanks for the reminder. So Glenda, if you're listening, Glenda is my very good friend, and so Glenda and
just
Cedric
like
and the
my
rest
very good friend, we have to share her.
Yes. So, Glenda and Cedric and the rest of the family, condolences to you
yes, we need
on
to
the passing.
Yes. And I very much like what is going to be featured Thursday and Friday with the expo.
Yes.
because 30 years is a good long time.
It is.
But I can remember when it was in a simpler form. It used to be called the Agricultural and Something Society. It was held at the Charlestown Secondary School at the time when I was, like a student at the school.
I remember it being
and
held there as well.
I do remember all of the, it was a big day. I mean, people would bring in the best of the animals, the fattest one, and everything else. So to see that it has taken such a significant change. It is just magnificent.
As a matter of fact, someone called me from
panelists the best.
Yes, thank you.
And much success on Thursday and Friday when it's in progress.
As I was saying, someone actually called me from the US the other day as well on Saturday, and they was saying like, you're saying 30 years, but this thing has been going on much longer. And I think you were talking about that much longer when it happened at CSS.
At the Charlestown Secondary School, yes. Yes, I remember when it was held there, and I was a student at the school at the time, and I participated in submitting my contribution. I don't know if you would remember Clara Walwyn Maynard.
Yes, I did.
But she was
living right there at Bath.
The arts and craft teacher, and she was, through her, I know how to do crochet and make those baskets from coconut palm and all those good stuff. And yes, those things were on display at that time.
Okay.
It was just magnificent.
Okay.
So to see that it has taken such a different and a higher turn than those days, it's something to really cherish. And
Great.
Yeah.
And just one more thing before you leave. Did you have a birthday lately?
Yes, I did.
Belated birthday greetings to you.
February is my birthday.
Wonderful. All right. It's always a pleasure to hear you.
So, nice talking to you again, then, Mr. Evelyn. And like I said, I just feel like it's good to know. I don't know how many people at home are aware of Mr. Derek's passing, but because of the very good friendship that I have with the family, and he, when I was at home too, I just thought I would convey my condolence in a public way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
and
so
stay
much.
warm, okay?
I said, well, you know what? Stay warm is a good word to use because the temperature was about 28 degrees here today. People are still cloaking up. The winter hasn't left us yet. It's in the rearview mirror, but it has not completely gone.
We are getting
ups and downs.
We are getting our little winter down here too.
The temperature climbed into the 80s last week.
Okay.
And then by today, it was 28 degrees.
Wow.
So it's a kind of an up and down situation until it really, really leaves town around, say, May. Around May is when we could be guaranteed there is no winter around the corner until October.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. You have a good night.
Have a good evening.
You too, my dear. All right. Thank you very much. That was a caller from, caller from the US and regular listener to On the Mark show. So once again, our lines are open if you wish to call in 869-469-16168, 869-469-1700. Gentlemen, I understand, before we get back to the open day, the Agri Expo itself, I understand that there's something happening on Friday.
Yes.
What's happening on Friday? Tell us more.
Yes, this Friday we're having, I would say, the first Agri Expo parade. So this parade is an effort to further build the hype and anticipation for the event next week. So this Friday we'll take over the streets of Charlestown from 2 p.m. We'll have cultural displays, a float, music, etc. Just to build the hype, bring some of the action to you, give you a sneak peek of what to expect the following week.
And that takes place this Friday from 2. We'll get back to that. We have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Yeah, good evening, Eric. Good evening to your guests as well.
Thank you. Yes, good evening to you.
Just calling in to say congratulations to the entire team for where agriculture in Nevis has come, really, especially the Agri Expo.
Thank you.
I mean, I could remember coming back home about 26 years ago, and we were in the infant stages. I mean, it's a big transformation when you look at it now.
Yes.
I think that, in all fairness, we have outgrown the villa.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have...
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it,
so,
mister.
we definitely have to look at, and I was suggesting that even this year we should have gone down Malcolm Gishard Park. But
So small.
I mean, we're gonna see how best we could do it in the park for the last time, I would suppose. But yeah, congratulations to all involved.
Thank you very much.
The ministry, the department, everybody, and even the farmers themselves have grown leaps and bounds. You know what I mean? The technology has taken over, and we have seen produce here on the island of Nevis that can rival any produce coming from anywhere.
Yes.
And so I just want to say kudos to the entire agriculture sector, and we just have to move from strength to strength.
I want to say congratulations to you as well, Mr. Truss. You have taken agriculture here in Nevis to another level as well. So heartiest congratulations to you. But tell me though, you have been with the our exhibition for a number of years. What has the experience been like for you? What has it done for you and your business?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's an opportunity to not only for me but for all the farmers to come and showcase their products. Sometimes people go to the supermarkets and they don't even realize that they're buying local stuff. You know, so when they come to the expo and they see it firsthand, it's amazing to watch them just turn it upside down, inside out, and hear the remarks and see the facial expression. Because our produce here is top class. I mean, we take it to the Four Seasons, and they can't believe that it's grown in Nevis, to Sunshines, to all the local restaurants. And it has allowed us to put our products alongside products that are imported and show them up every time.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, you really can't put a yardstick on it, really. But it has brought out the best in our farmers. Not just me, but I see other farmers alongside me, and it has moved things to a different level.
Fantastic. Now, I recognize your voice. There are some persons who are listening who may not know who the person is speaking is. So maybe you can just briefly tell the folks who you are, what you do, and encourage them to come to the Agri Expo. Tell them what you're going to have at the Agri Expo to come and support you and all the other farmers and vendors.
Well, I'm Mackie Truss here, one of the hard-working farmers in Nevis. I represent A1 Farms. We are mainly vegetable producers. We do lettuce, kale, pak choy, chives. You know, we get on the outside as well, and do some planting and seasoned pepper and pumpkin and all of that. The Agri Expo is a place you gotta come to see local products. What you see here at the expo is what we grow in Nevis on a yearly basis. So you could come make your contacts. Most of the farmers now are delivering to the supermarkets, to the hotels, and to the restaurants. So you see exactly where your food comes from, and you get to examine the food and taste it firsthand, fresh from farm to table, really.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Mackie. And we appreciate your presence at the Agri Expo every year. And I know your booth is normally a hit, so we want to thank you so much for coming and adding to the value of our event. We look forward to seeing you and welcoming you again next week, Thursday and Friday. And all the very best in all of your endeavors in the field of agriculture. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you much, guys.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, our lines are still open. We are having a discussion with Mr. Elliott and Mr. Walwyn. Mr. Walwyn, you were talking about the parade that is going to be taking place on Friday. Maybe you want to enlighten us a little bit more.
All right. So, as I mentioned, the parade will be held this Friday, and that will be from 2 p.m. to the streets of Charlestown. If you could remind me the direct route.
While you're being reminded, we have a caller holding. Good evening, caller. You're live on the mark.
Good evening, my colleagues.
Good evening, sir. We were expecting you here this evening.
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I was double booked, and I didn't want to get right up by Mr. Elliott, so I had to put my input. But I've been listening on my way home driving, and I'm pretty proud of where the department have reach.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't know, but this year, Mr. Elliott and myself have been with the department for about 28 years now.
Wow. You have a lot of catching up to do.
Have,
you have a lot of catching up to do.
You know, we have been there from the early stages.
Okay.
And at this point in stage, we're telling our staff to, you know, the younger ones, to get more involved for them to take over, because just now we'll be moving on,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
However, Mr. Elliott, just a reminder about the accommodations that we have made for our visitors from off island, and we normally take care of them because, you know, we are tourist oriented as well, and we use the opportunity to export stuff. So we're not a major exporter of goods in a large quantity like that, but at this event, these folks from Statia, from St. Kitts, other neighboring islands do come and they purchase quite a bit. And so
Quite a bit is an understatement.
well, we normally have to provide transportation for them to get to the pier and move a lot of these stuff off, and we make it as smooth as possible so that they have a lovely experience. And when they go back, they keep telling their friends, and more keep coming and coming.
Yes.
You know, so we even helping out the tourist industry, because I think some of them now want to stay over and stuff.
Yes.
So we'll be staying over.
Fantastic.
Yes. So I just call in to say that you know, lending my support as usual. However, seeing that I'm on the other end tonight, I'm, you know, have you guys on the spot on air, and knowing that the team normally works so hard and go out of the way all hours of night to make sure that any activity that the department does, we do it to the highest standard.
Of course.
And we always succeed.
We have a reputation.
Oh, yes. So are we getting a day off or something?
Why do you want to put me on the spot on the air? Mr. Reed, that's not good. That's not nice.
But the staff truly work hard. I mean, I have another event on Monday. And so I know the guys at the abattoir, they're going like early mornings, late at night, doing the thing. Barbs and the team, you hear float is being done. It's around the clock.
I know. I remember I was there.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like.
So I know Mr. Elliott is afraid to act. So I'm asking for...
You're the spokesman.
We need a break. Give us one day.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that off air. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just calling to support the guys and my friend there, Mr. Warren. You know, he's doing a pretty good job. You know, everywhere I look, I see the advertisement out. I see flyers. You know, I must tell him, he's walking in your shoes. He might be surpassing you shortly because he's done a great job. You know, so Mr. Elliott, I didn't make it tonight. I was double booked. So I just called in to lend my support.
Well, as I said, thank you very much. We are disappointed that you didn't come, but the two other gentlemen here are doing you justice. But thanks anyway for calling. And of course, I know that you wanted to be here, but you had another engagement, and we understand.
Yes, and I know that the chair, your villager Corey, is listening attentively and would have us, you know, do nothing but the best.
One of these days, you all need to bring Corey on the radio. I know Corey is afraid. He's afraid of these things, but I think you all need to give him some little exposure as well.
He actually chaired the meeting this afternoon.
He did?
Yeah, he actually
It's
chaired
great.
the meeting
Congratulations, Corey. Good job. Proud of you.
All right, sir. So this is it for me for the night. So
Thank you.
I'm still on the job.
Thank you very much. All right, and if you remember anything and you want to call back in before 10, you can feel free to do so.
No, because by 5 we're on the road again.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Reed. Of course,
right.
we are discussing our Agri Expo that's coming up next week, Thursday and Friday, at the ETW Park in the heart of Charlestown. We are celebrating our 30th anniversary. It's a huge milestone, and we are discussing it tonight. We are now at the bottom of the hour, so we only have another half an hour to go. Our lines remain open. Our numbers are 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. If you want to call in and congratulate the department and the Ministry of Agriculture, if there's anything you want clarified about the Agri Expo, please feel free to call in. I know a lot of the time persons tend to wait until the last minute when they can't get in to call. But anyway, we are here with the discussion. If you want to interrupt us at any time, feel free to do so. Mr. Walwyn, we were just talking about the parade.
Right. So the parade is this Friday. The excitement for Agri Expo is building. It's bursting out the seams. So we don't want to wait until the 26th and the 27th. So on Friday 20th, we're going to have a parade. It's a little taste of what to expect at the big event. From 2 o'clock, the route is from the Alexander Hamilton Museum up to the ETW Park, the venue of Agri Expo 30.
Okay.
So we'll have music, we'll have cultural displays from the NCDF, we'll have a special float created. So it's just to share a little of the excitement that we're feeling with the public this Friday. So look out for us in the streets of Charlestown.
Fantastic. I've been invited, so I'm hoping to be there as well. Oh, really? Yes. You all didn't invite me, but I've been invited. Good evening. You're live on the mark.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Evelyn.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm calling to ask a question.
Yes.
Where was the first place agriculture start?
I didn't get the question.
Where was the first place that agro?
Agri Expo Open Day.
Started.
It started at Prospect, up just where the agriculture department is. It started right there on that spot. I was there. Now I know you're probably talking about agricultural exhibition before that were hosted.
Yes, it was in Brooklyn.
Okay, I mean, we used to have some small exhibitions.
Yeah,
we had some in district exhibitions. We had one over at Whitehall playing field.
Whitehall, that's right.
Yes, of course, we had one there, and we used to have one up at Crony's house, where the David Freeman Center of Excellence is right now. Because I could.
And New River.
And of course, we've had at New River as well. Because I could remember very vividly. Our former Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Herbert, Livingston Herbert, he used to be the one coordinating that event over there at Whitehall. Farmers.
I remember.
Right.
And then you all were saying there was too small, and you move it, and you take it somewhere else.
Yeah, people like Anita Nisbet used to take part. The late Miss
Bartlett.
Brandy Bartlett, and
Jeffers and all.
Yes, I remember very vividly because I've been with the department for a very long time, and
yes,
so
and they were saying the ball field, Whitehall ball field was too small, and they will move it. I think he only did last 1 year.
I think it was more than 1 year that it was held there, because the essence of doing those, what we were doing is that we were having exhibitions in the districts. And so I could recall we had that one there at Whitehall for the St. James district, and we used to have one up at Crony's house for the Gingerland district, and so those were not really the big national exhibitions for the entire island. They were just for the district. So when we had those, you had farmers in that district who were featured for those exhibitions, right? So those don't count for what we are talking about. Even though they were held, they don't count. What we're talking about when we say we're doing it 30 years, we had the open day that started at Prospect on a different level. That is what we're talking about, the 30 years. That is we counted from that. So we are not counting from when we were having those district exhibitions.
Yes, I was thinking, well, the 30 years starts from when you all started it here at Whitehall.
No.
And other places. But now I understand.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So looking forward to thank you. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, if God's will. Last year I was there. And I came and I had to buy some sugar cane because I had to travel to America, and my son told me, bring up some sugar, and I did get some sugar cane. But I'm not going away this year. I'll be there.
Good. Fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Huh?
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, yes.
And thank you for
Okay.
calling. All right?
Yeah, bye.
Thank you very
Bye,
much. Yes, so the caller is correct, Mr. Elliott and Mr. Walwyn. Mr. Walwyn, you're too young to know these things, right? Well, the caller is correct because I remember when I just got into the Department of Agriculture, we used to have these what we call district exhibitions in the different agricultural districts. And yes, there was used to be one over at the Whitehall playing field. I remember very vividly, and the farmers over there, they are the ones who would have taken part. And so the farmers from the other parts of the island would not have gone there to take part, they would have gone just to attend. And we featured the farmers in those particular areas. And I remember a couple of years as well, we had one up in Gingerland, and it was right there where the David Freeman Center of Excellence is there. We were able to put up a couple of tents, and you know, the exhibitions were held there. And of course, we would have heard a caller from New York as well, who was talking about the exhibitions at the Charlestown Secondary School. And so yes, agricultural exhibitions have been taking place on Nevis for more than 30 years. But what we are talking about is from when we started to have it as an open day, and now it has graduated to the Agri Expo. All right, and so we were talking about the parade this coming Friday to drum up support, and so we're asking persons to work with us on Friday. I know Friday is a busy day in Charlestown. There's going to be a lot of traffic, but I assume that you all have been speaking with the police, the traffic department, in terms of the movement there on Friday afternoon as well.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, we normally have other attractions for the Agri Expo. We normally have a raffle. What is happening? Are we having our usual raffle this year? What we're going to be raffling this year?
All right, so it wouldn't be Agri Expo without the livestock raffle hosted by the Veterinary and Livestock Division. And this year on raffle, we have a cattle. The ticket for the cattle is $10. You have a choice of a bull or heifer. I have photos of the animals, the select bull or heifer that you would win if you're so lucky, that I will post this week. So you can see your animal, envision him in your yard, envision him in your pasture space, start your farming journey. And in addition to the cattle, there will be rabbit. So normally it's cattle, pig, goat. This year is cattle and rabbit.
Okay, so we're doing it a little different this year.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the ticket for the rabbit is $10, but there's a catch to the rabbit. So should you be the lucky winner, you get a doe, a buck, housing, and a bag of
So you're
feed.
getting a pear.
Yes.
Or you're getting one, either or.
You get the pear.
Fantastic.
You get the pear, housing, and a bag of feed.
So when you say housing, you get in your rabbit cage.
Yes.
Wow. That sounds good. For only $10?
$10.
Only 10.
Wow. And I know rabbit, some persons use it as a pet, but I know rabbit meat is in demand. And I understand it is quite an expensive, and it's a delicacy as well. I know the Hermitage over the years has done an excellent rabbit pie, and I understand that is normally a hit when persons visit Hermitage. I don't know which other hotels cook rabbit, but I know over the years the Hermitage would have done rabbit pie, and I understand that the rabbit pie is normally a hit. And so rabbit is in demand in terms of being on a menu. And of course, there are a lot of persons, a lot of young persons who like to have rabbit just as pets. And I can tell you, because of course, when I was in college, we raised rabbits as well. And the rabbit, they put on weight very fast, and the turnover is very fast as well. So you can make some good money if you're into raising rabbits, right?
For food.
For food, right? And of course, you'll have to buy the concentrate feed as well, but you can rabbits eat a lot of greens as well. You know, so you're saying that the catch is that you're going to be getting a pair, a male and a female, plus the rabbit cage, plus a bag of feed for only $10.
$10.
Okay, tell us, have the tickets gone on sale yet?
Tickets are currently on sale. You can reach out to members of staff from the Veterinary and Livestock Division. tickets are currently on sale. $10, cattle or rabbit. The draw takes place Friday evening, 7 p.m. That's Friday, 27th March at the ETW Park.
And so persons can purchase the tickets in advance, or, because I know normally during the Agri Expo, persons are all over the field and selling tickets as well. So you can either purchase your tickets in advance, or you can purchase at the venue. And you said the drawing is normally taking place on the Friday evening.
Yes.
Fantastic. So that is...
And there's also a rabbit demo on Thursday.
Where's a rabbit demo, meaning what?
Show you how to cook rabbit.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
So this demo will be done by Miss Stanley.
Miss Stanley?
Yeah.
Oh, from Hermitage.
From Hermitage.
Yeah, that's what I said. I know they do apparently they do a lovely rabbit pie there at Hermitage. So those of you who want to taste rabbit, Mr. Elliott is indicating that on Thursday there will be a demonstration in terms of how to cook rabbit, and so you can come and get a taste, because the good thing about the demonstration is that when the chefs do the demo, you're able to get a taste.
Yes.
You know, and so those of you who are interested in tasting rabbit, come out on Thursday afternoon, you'll be able to taste rabbit. Now, earlier on, Mr. Elliott and Mr. Waldwin, we would have heard about the agriculture and the ticket being for $25. Maybe you can just remind us what is the general entrance fee, and you need to clear this up as well, because we're going to get to the entertainment part, not yet, but you need to clear this up, because I know I think last year and the year before, there seemed to have been a bit of a misunderstanding on the Friday evening, whether or not the ticket price goes up on the Friday evening. So you need to make that distinction now. What is the entrance fee overall? What is the entrance fee on the Friday evening? Okay. And then after that, we'll talk about the entertainment.
Okay. For the entrance fee for Thursday and Friday within the day, it's $5 EC. $5 EC.
And I'm assuming that school children are in uniform.
School
are still
children
free.
in uniform, you're still free.
Okay.
So $5 EC get you in.
Only $5, even for 30th anniversary.
Only $5.
Okay.
From 7, the entrance fee moved from $5 to $10. From 7 in the evening.
Both nights?
No, just the Friday.
Just the Friday.
Just the Friday.
Okay, so you're saying for the all of Thursday, the entrance fee is $5 EC, irrespective of what time you come.
Yes.
Right? And then on Friday, from what time it moves from 5 to 10? From 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Okay. And so listeners, please, because I know persons came to me and complained last year, and I think the year before, and I did not know what was the difference.
Yes.
I couldn't give an explanation. So I'm happy that you have cleared that up now. So just in case anybody is coming after me on Friday evening, please bear in mind that on Friday evening from 7 o'clock, the fee goes up from $5. It doubles to $10. Right? Once again, school children in uniform are free. And I recall as well last year where there was a student there who was not in uniform, and so we're asking students as much as possible to be in your uniform. I could recall last year, I think some school had dress-up day, and so they couldn't distinguish, if the school has a dress-up day, all the teachers need to do accompany the students and say, well, we have dress up there, and so the students are not in their uniform, because we don't want any undue confusion. Next week Thursday. Now, an important part of the Agri Expo over the years has been the entertainment. Tell us what the entertainment lineup is looking for on the 2 days.
All right, so the entertainment for Agri Expo on Thursday, we'll have DJ X-Ray, Reloaded Sound. He made his debut on Agri Expo last year, and he did a remarkable job, so we brought him back. And we also have the Ultimate Band on Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
On Friday, we have Rec Life, we have DJ Zimba, and in the evening we have out of St. James the Odyssey Band, and out of St. Kitts we have Collision Band. That's the entertainment lineup.
You haven't spoken about the entertainment from NCDF. I'm assuming.
Oh, of course. Okay. My bad. My bad. We have cultural acts from NCDF. We usually have clowns or masquerade, have steel pan, and the other cultural acts that the NCDF, the children will come and perform during the day, during the lunchtime hours. So you have some local musical and cultural entertainment while you purchase your lunch.
And there's actually an addition to it, because for this year we want to ensure that persons who are coming to the 30th has an experience. And again, we're encouraging persons that once you walk into ETW Park, you come up the road and you enter into the entrance tent. Lining the entire road as you pay your 5EC coming in, there will be entertainment, cultural acts coming up the road, interacting with you. And I must commend our sister departments for coming on board. I think this is the first time since we are actually doing Expo. We actually have all the departments and statutory bodies that fall within your ministry on board.
Great.
So I must say big thanks to the ministry for ensuring that all departments and statutory bodies actually come on board this time.
Well, I'm very happy for that. I know last year we also had the steel band there from NCDF as well, and I know we normally have cultural acts every year. And I just spoke about the welcome tent. That is normally a hit for the past 2 years, right? I don't know what is planned for this year, because I don't know if you all can outdo what has been done for the past 2 years.
We will. We will.
You will outdo for the welcome tent. You will outdo for the 30th anniversary.
We will.
Oh my God! Wow. I think persons will be blown away. All right, time is running out. We just have another 13 more minutes to go on the program. It's been a wonderful program, very educational so far. And of course, we're giving a lot of information. If you're out there and you want to call, we don't have much more time left. Just have another 12 and a half more minutes to go. And so our our lines remain open: 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. If you wish to call in to congratulate the department and the Ministry of Agriculture, to ask a question, to get something clarified about Agri Expo. It's all happening next week, Thursday and Friday, at the ETW Park in the heart of Charlestown. Now, this is our 30th anniversary. We would have dispatched some letters and so on to neighboring islands. I know that we normally have quite a delegation from Statia. I don't know what the response has been like from Statia, but I know, let's get back to that. But we have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Hi, good evening, Minister Evelyn.
Yes, good evening.
Also to your host.
Yes.
Evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I'm calling in from St. Kitts. I'm just calling to wish you all a happy 30th anniversary.
Thank you so much.
And many more to come.
Yes.
Also, I want to ask if you all will be having any special anniversary paraphernalia selling, whether it be mugs, teacups, drinking glasses, T-shirts, something of that sort.
There will not be necessarily for sale. We would have the bags. So once you make a purchase at any of the booths for the department, you will have a branded bag. Once you make a purchase at the bar, then you'll also have a branded cup.
I think y'all should have some paraphernalia for sale, though, because some people use them as a collection.
Yes.
And another thing, will the patrons from Statia be coming over?
With the whom?
Patrons from Statia.
Yes.
I heard about them from the previous expos.
Yes.
Yes,
and I hope you will be coming over too.
Well, once I get the time off, because I have to work.
Tell your boss that I said please give you some time off.
Well, you should call him. I think you should call him. Sometimes they normally listen to the bigger folks or the big shops than the small strats.
Tell your boss give you even an hour, man, to come over. Give you even Thursday afternoon or Friday afternoon. Tell him let you go a little earlier, either Thursday or Friday afternoon.
Okay, how late will it go to?
Okay.
Mr. Elliott.
Thursday, we close off Thursday at 10. Friday, all goes well, we close off Friday at 12.
Wow, that sounds great. So I have a little time after work to pop over there.
Yes,
Plenty
of
time.
course. Of
I
course.
hope all the goodies ain't get sell out.
I hope not.
And also, I think y'all should try and even a complimentary or a little freebie, you know. Some persons might be less unfortunate to have to pay to enter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and normally when you reach those kind of milestones, you're trying a little giveaway or two.
All right.
There's actually some giveaway.
Sure, we love suggestions. We love suggestions.
There'll actually be some giveaways on the gate tickets. So we're asking persons that once you get your band, please don't throw it away.
No, but you should have done 1 or 2 on the mark.
Oh, on the mark.
That is promo, you know.
Okay.
we love your suggestions.
Thank you, ma'am.
I guess you need me on your team for next year.
Sure.
Yes, please come. Okay.
Okay, have a good night and get home safely.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Welcome.
All right. That's a regular listener to On The Mark. I pick up the voice. I know this person have called in several times on The Mark. And I want to thank you very much for always listening, being a part of the show. And thank you for calling and for making your suggestions as well. So as I was saying, Mr. Elliott and Mr. Baldwin, I know that this being our 30th anniversary, we would have dispatched a number of invitation letters to some of our neighboring islands. I don't know how many responses we would have received. I don't know if you have any ideas to the delegation in terms of the numbers coming from Statia this year. Mr. Elliott, are you aware of that as yet?
No, we in terms of the numbers coming from Statia and Anguilla, we haven't received that as yet. I received a call today. There are some actually is coming from Tatola.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, they were trying to get here on the Wednesday. On the Wednesday instead, because they wanted to shop early Thursday morning. But they'll be coming in Thursday morning.
Great. And I know one of the ministers of agriculture from Anguilla will be coming, the Honorable Cordell Richardson. He has already indicated that he will be here to witness the Agri Expo 30 as well. And so we are happy that persons from the neighboring islands once again will be joining us. We do have a call online. Good evening, caller. You're live and on the mark.
Good night again, gentlemen. I forgot to ask, will there be a late ferry trip? Do you know?
Well,
Yes,
on Fridays, the boat, the trip from I think the last trip from Nevis is normally around 6 p.m. But of course, you know, over for the water taxi, the trips go very late until maybe 9, 10, especially on a Friday. But I think normally from Charlestown, I think the last boat is at 6. I may be stand corrected, but I think the last boat is normally at 6 p.m. from Charlestown.
Okay, Mr. Evelyn, and before you go, when you're closing off the show, you have to select me your boss, Mr. Brantley. The band has struck up.
Okay.
You have to say
And the lady who wants to strike up the band is already smiling. I'm sure she already have she hand on the button.
She must be grinning from ear to ear.
Thank you very much, my dear, and you have a good night. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right. Okay, we just have another 7.5 minutes to go. So if you want to call in quickly, please feel free to do so now. The time is running out. 869-469-1616 and 1700. So as I said, we should be having the usual huge delegation from Statia that they are a huge part of the event. Gentlemen, you didn't speak about the domino competition.
Well, the Domino competition this year, we start on Saturday. The contact person is Kurt. Kurt last name is
Grant.
Kurt Grant. That's the contact person. But the illuminations will be played right over Bath Saturday by Baker.
Okay.
The registration per team is $100 EC. The prices in terms of first place, $1,600 for first place. Second place, $1,000. Third place, $700, and fourth place, $400. I must say a big thank you to the sponsors of this competition, the Finish Touch and Brands Architecture, who would have came on board significantly to ensure that we have these funds to sponsor the Domino. The semi-finals and finals, those will be played at ETW Park next week Thursday and next week Friday.
Fantastic. And that shows again how much we have graduated, because previously we never used to have an elimination round. I think it was from last year that this elimination round started. So the elimination round would be held right here in Bath Village at Baker's Shop, I assume?
Yes.
Right, and then we have the semi-finals and finals taking place on the Thursday and the Friday at the ETW Park. Mr. Elliott, one of the concerns some of the vendors have over the years have been security at the ETW Park. Sometimes we ask persons to bring their items in early. Please assure members of the public, and as well especially the vendors, that their stuff will be secure.
Well, we have security, light security in the park from Monday. Heavy security will be there from Tuesday evening, because it's from Tuesday we ask persons to start to bring in their stuff. So heavy security will be in the park from Tuesday evening. And again, security will be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Fantastic. Well, we just have another 4.5 minutes to go, so we are running out of time. I want to just remind persons, Mr. Elliott, about the parking, because that is normally a huge issue on both days. Remind persons about where they can park, where they should not park. Okay, for the Agricultural Expo this year, the designated parking would be at the Villa Grounds. That's just below the Charleston Secondary School, and just on the line just outside of the cultural complex. Kindly note that Best Buy parking lot is not parking for Expo. So please adhere to these parkings. The entrance, the main gates at right next to Best Buy, the small gate on the school road, and the large gate up to the top next to the cultural village. Fantastic. Now we are having something to drum up support for the event that's happening on Friday. For those who tuned in late, Mr. Walwyn, remind us what is happening on the streets of Charlestown this coming Friday.
All right, this coming Friday we'll have a parade. It's the Agri Expo 30 parade. We will leave from the Alexander Hamilton Museum and head up to the ETW Park, the home of Agri Expo. We'll have cultural displays, music, banners, etc. A grand float. So we're just sharing the vibes for Agri Expo 30 a week in advance.
Fantastic. All right, well, we're almost out of time, so I'm going to give both of you an opportunity now to make a final pitch in terms of inviting folks to come out and support Agri Expo 30 taking place next week. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Walwyn, and then I'm going to end with Mr. Elliott.
All right, I'd just like to invite the public, listening public, to come on out to Agri Expo 30. It's usually a grand event, and this year it's going to be extra special. 30 years is a significant milestone. We're excited from the ministry and department's end. We are proud of what we have ready to display, and we just want to share the excitement with you. One thing to note, I'm encouraging patrons to bring their shopping bags, their reusable bags,
and bring some money, because there's going to be so much to buy.
Of course. Spend your lunchtime with us, have lunch with us. We have the food court. You can just come, look around. You will learn something. As long as you're at the park, you will learn something. So I'm just encouraging everyone once again to come out, and I'll see you there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Walwyn. Mr. Elliott?
I just want to say a special thank you to our sponsors. I can't leave without saying thank you to our sponsors. Our Wellness Center, Digicel, Heinz Electronic, the NIA, the major sponsor, National Bank, the official bank of the Agricultural Expo, Nevis Land and Housing, Nevis Land and Housing Development Corp, Rodney's Tent Rental, Nevis Credit Union, Lefco Construction, Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, Carrie Brewery, Finish Touch, Caribbean Marketing International, Flow, And again, to all our farmers, our patrons, our vendors who are coming to support, we're asking the general public to just come out and support the Agricultural Expo. It's an experience. And again, so I'd just like to say thank you, and we look forward to see you next week.
Thank you very much. I want to say thanks to my guests for this evening, Mr. Randy Elliott and Mr. Siobhan Walwing, and they're from the Department of Agriculture. And of course, also we want to thank all those persons who called in. We want to thank you very much for calling in and supporting the show as well. And of course, it has been my pleasure hosting the event, hosting the show this evening for the Honorable Mark Brantley. And once again, we are reminding you that next week, Thursday and Friday, everyone on the island of Nevis and from St. Kitts, we are heading to the ETW Park for the 30th anniversary of Agri Expo, being held under the theme Rooted in History, Utilizing Land and Sea. Agri Expo 30 is being held under the patronage of our past dedicated worker, Mr. Mario Rutherford Libert, or who we know as Small Ford. And so it's going to be all things agriculture on display and showcased there at the ETW Park next week, Thursday and Friday. And so we're inviting all of you, please come. Please come, because there's going to be so much to see, so much to purchase. It's going to be good company, excellent entertainment, and as I said, you can learn so much, and we're looking forward to your usual support. It is an event that has been heavily supported by the public over the years, and we're looking forward to that support again this year. And as my friend from St. Kitts has said, the band has struck up, and so it's time for us to go. It has been our pleasure being here on the Mark this evening. So see you all at the ETW Park next week, Thursday and Friday, March 26th and 27th. Remember, the show is rebroadcast tomorrow from 1 o'clock, and so you can listen again tomorrow. So it's my pleasure, your host for tonight, Honorable Eric Evelyn. Thank you, have a good night, and God bless.
Views and opinions expressed on the preceding program were solely those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the